We're green and go. Good start from Phoebe Cake. She does get good getaways. She's doing that when she was racing in the Rally X Nordic Championship across Europe. She gets good starts, but it's 91 George Edinburgh who's leading the pack. The local racer into top spot ahead of Phoebe Cake for now, and it's the driver who's done all the winning so far today, Harrison Foley, in number 54, who's at the back of this train. So Harrison, who has won every race he started in the junior cross car division so far today, now at the back of the pack in this one as they clamber up Hairy Hill and into North Bend Hairpin for the first time through this classic part of the Lydden Hill circuit, that tight North Bend right-hander, and they begin this daunting descent down Hairy Hill, past the grandstands, and then throw it into Paddock Bend, or at least the supercars and other categories will really be throwing it through here in the latter part of the meeting, because Paddock Bend, one of the most daunting looking rallycross circuits, rallycross bends out there, and it's a good first lap from George Edinburgh. He's on course for a good result here. Number 54 of Harrison Foley, just unable to live with him at the minute, but he's got his Joker lap done. So Harrison's got his Joker lap sorted. Phoebe Cake in 6.31 in second spot at the minute, with still George Edinburgh leading the way in the 91. Up over the tabletop they go into the Devil's Elbow, where we've seen lots of dramas so far today. One of the best passing places on this Lydden Hill rallycross circuit, and they clamber up Hairy Hill and into towards a North Bend Hairpin. It's a good drive so far from George Edinburgh in the cross car junior division. All of these cars are the same chassis, Life Live TN5s, built in Belgium by Thierry Neuville's company, run with his brother, and the Life Live concern is a top rally team running rally cars in Europe, but also building these cross car machines, and this is where we see the TN5s out on track today. Life Live UK being headed up by Adrian Turner and Sam Brad, who's out racing in the seniors in the later final. But this is a good drive so far from George Edinburgh. He's just set the fastest lap of the race, a 55.975. Great effort from the youngster on his first rallycross start here. This will be learning so much. Harrison Foley behind is only third still, with Phoebe Cake having a good run in second spot. She's found good pace across the course of the meeting, now up into second position in 6.31. The experienced Swift Sport racer, who's also got the RX Rally X experience from her outings in Europe this year as well. But she's running in second through a packed North Bend Hairpin. Begin their climb down Hairy Hill. 3 laps left to go, and it's George Edinburgh still with this margin out front. I expected to see the black car of Harrison Foley, the number 54, to start to close in, but he's now getting close to the rear of Phoebe Cake's 631 car. They go through the chicane at half distance, 3 laps left to go, and it's still George Edinburgh with that comfortable lead, but he's yet to take his Joker lap. And if you haven't been to Rallycross here before and you're here for the fireworks tonight, every race we see apart from the retros will be doing a Joker lap, as we have a change for second. Foley gets up past Phoebe Cake, and the Joker, this crucial part of the race that all drivers must do once. It's on the extra part of the circuit through Paddock Bend. If they forget it, they get a 30-second penalty, and sadly Phoebe Cake's had a spin through the elbow. So Phoebe Cake is spun away in the 631. She drops to the rear of the pack now after being passed by Harrison Foley, but it is George Edinburgh still with that lead out front. He's got to do his Joker still, so when will he decide to do that? Not yet. He's into the Paddock Bend turn now, through up towards the chicane as the light continues to fade here. The 91 of Edinburgh, 2 laps left to go, and these 600cc cross cars are continuing on their way with the number 54 of Harrison Foley. Phoebe Cake's going to get the car restarted now, so she's on the grass on the inside, but she is able to get the cross car restarted at the Devil's Elbow, so there won't be a yellow flag now at the elbow. The Lydden Hill marshals are now armed with light signals, so they can not just wave the yellow flags, which may not be seen in this light, but the lighting towers, the little light boxes they've got, the yellow and red, telling the drivers any warnings up ahead and warning them of any dangers around the corner. But George Edinburgh's put in a great display here. He's still the fastest driver on circuit, but Harrison Foley's closing, and he's taking time out of the race leader. Phoebe Cake is into the chicane. 2 laps left to go for Phoebe. They're about to start their final lap here at George Edinburgh and Harrison Folly, and Folly is definitely beginning to closing right down now on the 91 car of George Edinburgh. Last lap board is shown, 1 mile left to go. They go under the Lydden Hill gantry for the final time, and George Edinburgh is coming under a lot of pressure now from Harrison Folly, who's left it late, but he's going to try and make a move on the final lap here. And Harrison Folly right around the outside, side by side with George Edinburgh as they go up towards the tabletop. The youngsters are side by side, wheel to wheel, as they go into Devil's Elbow for the final time. And the two junior racers are absolutely locked together then on this final lap. George Edinburgh in 91, the 54 of Harrison Folly. They clamber up Hairy Hill in what will now be the final time. Phoebe Cakes dropped right down to the back of the order after her spin at the Devil's Elbow, which took her a while to recover from. But this has been a good display from George Edinburgh. Coming down the hill in 91. He's led from the front since the start, and he comes through into paddock with the lead. Edinburgh checker flag being made ready, and the number 91 is going to take the checkered. So Edinburgh takes the win. Folly in second in 54. Phoebe Cake will be a long way adrift, sadly, for her after her spin. She'll finish in third. But that was the first final in Britain for the Motorsport UK, what could be a junior cross-car championship in future years. The number 91 of George Edinburgh stopped now on the slowdown lap, but Phoebe Cake's got to finish her race, and the cross-car juniors will be complete for their first final. They'll be back out tomorrow with another final round of the British Rallycross Championship 5 Nations Trophy, but our next final will be the retro division, the up to 1600cc retro group, which has been closely fought so far today. Phoebe Cake comes down through paddock, and the local racer from Cape Fern. Final hasn't gone her way here, but she has continued her learning curve in Rallycross and gets to the checker flag to finish the final in third spot. So Phoebe finishes third, George Edinburgh wins, Folly second, Phoebe Cake in third. That is the cross car juniors complete then. So one final ticked off.